Because I did something last week. Something I learned is that just to be responsible with your words, you know? And like when you say the wrong things, just
like
to
what?
be humble enough to correct yourself, even in public.
Like what?
And so I want to start off with that.
With what?
Because last week I said that you're a good shooter.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to...
You know...
You gonna let me finish talking, or you gonna continue to interrupt me?
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
And I just wanted to come back and repent, honestly, because we played basketball yesterday, and you came back down to earth, and I think it's a good word in there as well, because I think it's the difference between facts and truth. You know, like the fact was you had a good shooting game.
You know, some people play chess.
Are you gonna let me finish?
Some people play chess. I play checkers.
And
you ready for the lesson?
Go ahead.
You ready for the leadership lesson? I don't think you was ready for it.
You didn't let me get to my
You
lesson.
only see with your physical eyes. You're not looking. Go ahead.
No, you cut me off. Go ahead, finish.
So yesterday we had a squad.
Oh, we did have a squad.
We had a squad.
We did.
And I think that as I looked at the people, I realized, well, there's no need. You can't have 5 shooters on a team.
I want you to look at the camera when you say
you can't have 5 shooters on. I mean, you can, but 5 shooters won't get 5 opportunities to shoot.
In a pickup game?
In a pickup game.
Okay, continue.
I mean, if you're playing at 12.
Go ahead.
Or 15.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So a good leader understands there's a time to shoot and there's a time to let other people shoot.
Wow.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I'm not talking about the time you swung it to other people so that they can shoot. I'm talking about the time you shot it and missed it.
What? Okay, it takes me a while to warm up.
Like the whole session?
Did Taylor did?
How many layups you blew on a fast break by yourself?
One. Thank you very much.
That's
One.
crazy.
One.
That's crazy.
How many? What? What'd you say? Okay, anyway. We literally won every game except for the game we didn't want to win.
Yeah, because me and what was Buddy? Kaleo. He's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
But here's the thing: if you got people on your team like that, then you got to set them up for success. Which means that
has nothing to do with your shooting.
If I take all the shots, then guess what? You don't have no time.
We're
to
not talking about your volume of shooting. We're talking about the percentage in which you shot the ball.
It takes volume sometimes to get quality.
Not for everybody.
Well, you know
you're
what?
really trying to spin this.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
More of the story is
no. There's so much that I was literally this morning. I woke up. I said, I was not cold. I was not cold. I'm
not saying you're a bad shooter, but you weren't as good as I typed you up to be. But that was only day 2. You still got time to recover. But I got to keep.
Did we win
updated.
or did we lose?
We won.
Okay, exactly. So what's the point?
I don't know.
The point is winning, right?
Yeah,
to be a team player. So
you can also be a team player by making more shots.
Okay, you know what?
But
I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of leadership lessons here, right? Like you walk into a room and if you're a leader, then you try to make everybody better. You don't got to be the one to get all the shots off. Wow. You want to write that down?
I don't take notes. Still working on that part of my life.
Oh my gosh. So what are we doing?
We are playing Capture the Flag this week.
Yes, house cleaning items. What are we doing? No, before we get to, don't look at me like that. House cleaning items. Is that how you say that? House cleaning? What is it? House items?
I don't know. Maybe we should just start the recording over.
No, don't do that. All right, what's tonight? Tonight's Wednesday.
Tonight is Wednesday.
But they're going to get this tomorrow on Thursday, so forget it. So what did they miss tonight?
Y'all missed the opening of our Bible study series, The Walk to Emmaus, Discovering Jesus in the Old Testament.
We told them on Sunday night.
Yes, we
posted
did.
it on Instagram.
Yes, we did.
So tonight, you're starting.
And it was so good.
What was?
The Bible study.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was good.
It hasn't happened yet, but we're speaking in faith.
It was good.
I believe it. So what are you talking about last night, but tonight, since this is dropping tomorrow?
Right.
So what did you talk about last night?
Everybody's confused.
What did you talk about last night?
I'm talking about the Luke chapter 24.
Okay.
When they're on the road to Emmaus.
Okay.
And 2 of Jesus' disciples are walking to this village called Emmaus, and they're debating amongst themselves if Jesus was actually the Messiah that the Old Testament prophesied about. Where Jesus comes while they're debating, he's like,
He's
like, what are y'all talking about? And he, playing crazy, Jesus, he kind of funny, type of thing.
Right.
And so he ends up walking them through the Old Testament and showing them how everything the Old Testament said that the Messiah would do, he actually did. And then it ends with saying that their hearts were burning as Jesus explained to them all the scriptures concerning himself. And it's just amazing. And so that's pretty much where we're going to go through a 14-week series of seeing the Old Testament.
But what did you teach on last night?
Jesus. it's like the introduction. So we talk about the walk to Emmaus,
which is tonight.
Which is tonight.
Which is last
Bro, I'm
night.
so confused. I'm so confused. Today is Wednesday, and tonight we're going to do the Bible study, and you're going to hear this on Thursday.
I'm excited. So how long is it?
It's a 14-week class.
All right. So we have the block on Sunday nights. We have the Bible study every Wednesday night now for the next 12 weeks.
Right.
Up until school starts. And
Right.
then this Friday, the 20th, is what?
Summer social kickoff.
Which is what?
Which is capture the flag. Glow in the dark, capture the flag.
So what do they need to do? Where we meet
They need
at?
to show up and wear black. We're going to Lavender Park.
Okay, where?
Oh, shuttle 2?
Shuttles.
No, that's
so
not
now
the-
they have shuttles
That's
at
not the
Lavender
word I
Park.
was looking
Is that
for.
right?
Well,
Shuttles?
No. What is it? What is it?
Shelter.
We starting over. Settle.
Is it shelter too?
I don't know what they call it.
Check the Instagram.
You're going to see the bus just ride around the park.
Yeah,
You're going to see the
fine
church
celebration bus.
There you go.
So they need to wear black. They need
You
to
have
be
to
there.
wear black.
What time?
7.
Okay, and then that's the summer social
30.
this week.
7:30. Be there at 7:30.
And then this upcoming Sunday night is what?
Oh, worship night.
Worship night.
Yes. I'm looking forward to worship night. Worship nights are
Yes,
always
it's going to be
thebomb.com.
awesome
Yeah.
as we kick off the summer.
Yes,
And then
that'd be
next
great.
week we'll talk about, you and Allie will talk about the series we're going to do.
Ooh.
You want to do it now? I mean, might as well. Go ahead.
So we're doing a series called Staycation. I'm super excited about it. Like, it's going to be really, really good. So the focus of it is about being missionaries in our own world, right? Whether you walk, whether you're at school, whether you're at work, like owning your city, owning your sphere of influence, and being a missionary there. What does that look like? How do we do that? How do we do it effectively? We got some speakers coming in from the city.
Awesome.
It's going to be great.
Awesome.
I'm
So that's
so
the whole
excited.
month of June.
A whole month
We're
of
doing
June.
that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then what did we do this past Sunday night? We went to Droopy's.
We went to Droopy's. We had a good time. Everybody came to Droopy's, and
Everybody
Droopy's was phenomenal.
Think about free
The
snowballs.
softest snowball I ever had in my life.
Well, you called it snow cone a couple
I
weeks
do,
ago.
and
so.
I was about to say it again, but I was
Okay.
trying to respect the audience
all right,
because
all
they're
right,
gonna
all right.
roast me in the comments.
What did you get?
I got ice cream.
Ice
So
cream
it tastes
flavor?
like ice cream flavor. So it
What did
tasted
you
like
get?
vanilla.
You didn't go? What did you get? Wow.
Oh, we have a
Yeah.
special guest. Say hey, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky. Vicky does
In the
photography.
house.
When you
In
see
the
good
house.
pictures of us on Instagram, it's Vicky.
Good job, Vicky. Shout out to
job.
Vicky. All 100 countries hearing about Vicky.
Wow.
So Sunday was the last couple things happened. So Sunday was the last night of the series More.
Yes.
So just real quick, give highlights. If you were gonna, I know you can't. I know you hate doing
a
that
lot.
because you're seminary. I get it, right?
Shut up.
Just give like really quick couple sentences recap of Sunday night, or what you want everybody to know about the series.
The series is about looking more like Jesus, and that's how we capped it off.
Right.
We capped it off by focusing on what it looks like to be more like Jesus, right? We
Right.
talked about in the beginning, we talked about pruning, right? Getting rid of the bad habits in our lives that are contrary to who Jesus is and what he taught about how we should live. And then we talked about being more fruitful, because once you get rid of the bad habits, you get to adopt Jesus' good habits.
Right.
And you get to bear all these good fruit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control,
Okay.
and all the rest.
Okay. Okay.
I know my Bible. And then we talked about being proactive with those fruit, right? And
Right.
remaining in Jesus and sharing those fruit, like sharing love, loving one another
Right.
as Christ has loved us.
And then this Sunday.
And then this Sunday we talked about after doing that process, you begin to look more like Jesus, right? But that doesn't mean that life just becomes sunshine and rainbows. There's, as I termed it, a backside to it. Like the suffering of this world still exists. In fact, you're going to suffer. In fact, by following Jesus, you kind of invite suffering and like different types of persecution because you associate yourself to Jesus.
Yeah.
And so, but he calls us to submit to that, even though it may be hard now. He gives us a life to look forward to, and that's eternal life with him, pending, we believe and are saved. So there it is. And it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a good study for me. Challenging.
John 15 is my favorite chapter.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we spent 4 weeks. You could probably spend
You can spend
12,
so much longer. 18,
20.
Yeah.
But it was good. But we did something after service that we need to talk about.
What? Droopies?
No, before Droopies. We introduced you as college young adult pastor of the block.
For real?
Don't do that.
I don't remember.
Oh, really? You're going to
No.
play that game?
Short-term
All right.
memory loss.
But it was a really special
It was
night.
special. Yeah.
You've been on staff here for a month
Yeah.
and a half now. right? A month and a half. But we waited till this past week, till after this series, to kind of introduce you as that. And so I've been here since the quote, I won't say beginning, but whatever, the young adults. It's been 9 years now.
Yeah. And
it's really special for me to have you come on staff and to start taking those roles and to start doing these things. And so I want you to talk about yourself for a second. So this is an introduction to Pastor Darius.
Okay.
All right. And so
buckle up.
All right. Well, go ahead and so for people who don't know you and don't know a lot about you, they've only come to the block. They've only heard you preach. Yeah. What are kind of give us a little background of yourself so that people get to know you a little bit.
Well, I'm from Sulphur, Louisiana, which is around the Lake Charles area, southwest Louisiana. I grew up there, played basketball. I mentioned that in the sermons a couple times. And then I graduated from high school in 2015 and went to Northwestern State University in Louisiana, in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Got my degree there, and then graduated from there in August of 2020. And then God led me to seminary. It was certainly a God thing because I didn't want to come. I didn't even know seminary was a thing until my junior year of college. And I was like, people go to that? Is that a real thing, Yeah. And so, long story short, I just knew. You know how sometimes when God does stuff that you just know that had to be him because, ain't no way, there's no. Right.
And I know you're leaving a lot of details out that kind of show God's faithfulness of that, but we
can get into all of that. Right. But just as a general overview, got to seminary. He was calling me to seminary, so I came, and then I found the block, and I just kind of plugged in and. For a while there, I just kind of sat in the background, just kind of checked it out, doing my homework, seeing what it is and what it's not. But the more I got to meet people, the more I got to connect with the community and just kind of dive in. We always encourage people to take those steps and, just give it a chance. I did that. And the more I did, the more I loved it. I loved the people. I loved the word, the teachings. And so here we are.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so I shared this on Sunday night. This isn't on the podcast because we cut it off before we did all this. Okay. But I had shared that last year in January at the beginning of the year, we were in the worship center over here. And it was at the end of the service. The band was playing a song. I was standing in the back and I'd been praying. I think we were in a time of prayer and fasting actually for our church during that time. But I really felt a strong impression on the passage of scripture. It talked about new wine, new wineskin, old wine, all that. And I remember I'm very hesitant to ever say anything out loud like that. I'm hey, I feel like the Lord's telling me this because, these days when you hear that, you're you lying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But I hope that come true.
Right. And I don't never want to be that person. Right. But it was really heavy to where I just couldn't. We even made a series out of it, I think, last year. But anyway, it was I felt last year that God was going to start doing some different things in our young adult ministry. And he did. Last year was a really crazy year. There was a lot of ups, but there was also a lot of downs too, and the hurricane really changed a whole bunch of stuff for us. And I think, every section of the world and the country, they have their own issues that they have to deal with. And here in New Orleans, that's just it can suck the life out of everything you're doing in your personal life and school and everything because, people were scattered around the country for weeks. And then we were just building momentum as a ministry and all that momentum was gone. Yeah.
And then you never know what you're coming back home to.
You don't know. I mean, even now as we're sitting in a studio, but right outside here in our worship center, we still have damage from Hurricane Ida. Yeah. And hurricane season already started. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so we're still rebuilding and stuff like that. But it's cool because I mentioned all this because I knew that and I felt that God was bringing something new into what he was doing here, and I see you as that. We have a lot of new leaders. We have a lot of ministry has changed drastically over the past couple years, but especially the past six to 8 months, it's been whatever. And I've just been so encouraged by you, number one, just your consistency, your faithfulness, God bringing you here, but then also you receiving the calling on your life to step into ministry and to see, as you've shared with me personally, all those little details that God has been so faithful in you and opening this door for you. I think that I really believe that the best days are going to be ahead for coming, for the young adult ministry here at the BLOC. And so just real quickly, what would you say if you were going to cast some vision, right? I'm all about this.
Soil.
I know. But like, if you're standing in front of our or somebody came up to you, you're having coffee, and like, hey man, what's your vision? Like, what do you think that you want to see God do in this? Like, as you're leading, as you're, receiving that from the Lord, how would you communicate that?
It's gonna be like very generic, right? But like, there's a plan in place.
Right.
I won't get into the details, but in my heart of hearts, what I really want is to see lives change, and that's just so important to me because like when I moved away from home and I got the opportunity, because I grew up, I'm going ahead of myself. I got the opportunity growing up to grow up around some like really solid Christians, and like my family was like, you going to church, it don't matter.
Yeah.
So when I moved away from home, it was the opportunity for me to show God, like, I don't need my parents to do this. Like, I want this for myself, like, I really want to follow you. And in doing that, God just began to do some really special things in my life while I was in college. And my family got a whiff of that, or a whiff of that. Like they got to see they got to see God move in like a more personal and intentional way, by just the things that he was doing in my life alone. And that made them kind of gravitate towards Jesus even more, right? But I know I want that same thing for our ministry, so that when people come in, that they can experience Jesus by what God is doing amongst our ministry, right?
Yeah.
Individually and collectively, that those who don't know Jesus come in and they just get a whiff of, like something's different here. Like Jesus is here. I think that starts with discipleship. I think that starts with intentionality, owning our ministry, serving, and just really getting into the word. That's what I want. Because like at the end of the day, if lives aren't being changed and like people can't sense the Jesus in us, then like what we doing? You know what I'm saying? People aren't growing in the word, you know what I'm saying? And growing to be steadfast, which is like always a constant prayer of mine, then like what we doing? You know what I'm saying? And I want that for us, and if people can see it when they come into ministry, like even when we go out, they'll whether we're going to work or we're going to class or school, like whatever, like people get Jesus because they can just see him, sense him in our lives.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's cool because the first message I ever spoke at a young adult ministry 9 years ago was John 15.
That's wild.
It was just one message, though. It was just one message. It was like, hey, they got these college students, go speak a message. And I still have it, actually. I still have it written down on a piece of paper.
You could have shared with me some of your notes.
You said that already. But anyway, but I thought it was cool that when, for the first time, we said, hey, man, like, what do you want to do? Like, what's the series you want to do? You said John 15. And I was just like, I just laughed at that personally because I was like, that's really, I don't know. It's really
Can
cool.
I share with you something I never shared with you yet before?
I don't know.
It's relax. It's not that deep. I remember, like, not my very first time coming to the block, but like that initial season, like when I first moved to the city, first found out about the block. I remember I was sitting in the back, and I don't even think I knew you as the pastor yet. I just seen you like running around or whatever, and I was like, oh, you got to be doing something over here.
So just like basketball, I was assisting and rebounding and.
Sure, whatever makes you feel better about yourself. You wasn't making baskets on the pulpit either, so. Anyways, no, but I just felt this impression that I couldn't make sense of in the moment to like come alongside of him, and I was like, okay, I don't even know Buddy. You know what I'm saying? And so like looking back on that now, like that's another thing I didn't share with people. Like when at first, just like, okay, we'll see what happens with that. And so like just kind of see it come full circle, and I'm like just honestly grateful to like just. Like we've been talking even before a month, but just like being able to learn under you. It's even a prayer I had like coming to seminary, because like seminary is like school. Like, we write papers.
Right.
Like 10 pages. Like it's deep, okay?
Right.
But I told God, like, okay, if I'm going to go to seminary and like do the educational side of the Bible, I also want to do the practical ministry side of the Bible. Mm-hmm. So my prayer, my one prayer in coming was that he send me somebody that I can learn the ropes of ministry from. And then here comes Stephen Dago with no jump shot. But,
okay,
but who's a really good leader and a really good disciple maker and a really good teacher. And so I'm thankful and I'm appreciative. And I share that with the audience to say that like we can sense that like God is doing something new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's exciting. It's exhilarating. You know, it makes you get up in the morning and be like, okay, God, what you got? What do you have today that we didn't see coming? You know? And I just hope that more people begin to sense that, you know, as the days come, not just in our ministry, but that they understand that also the same thing is for their life. You know, when God's ready to do something new, that we're ready and aware. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. It's like there's a lot of peace in this season. There's it's not. I feel like nothing is forced. It's just God is just ordering and directing stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited as we've been planning over the summer. We've got so much stuff going on over the summer.
Oh yeah.
And then we've also got, as you start planning for the fall, you know, we've been picking up students from Xavier before the school. And
shout out to our Xavier.
I know,
crew.
right?
I was texting them the other day.
Right
they was
now.
like, "We miss y'all." I was like, "We miss y'all too."
I know. And they but that's one, that's one core group that we love, right? But that's one of many to come.
For sure.
Right? We're talking and dreaming about, there's so many other universities in New Orleans that.
We coming for every campus.
Right.
Every campus. We're coming. Right. You know, we want a presence
Yeah.
on every campus.
So what would you say to someone in our ministry who's on a campus and planning to be on campus next year that wants to help be a part of that vision that you're talking about?
Well, we take ownership. That's what I would say. We want the same thing that we're doing with Xavier. What we want to do with the Xavier students who are coming was we want them to own their campus. Your campus is your mission field. Right. And what we want to do as a ministry is just come alongside of you.
Yeah.
So, if that's sitting down, say, okay, so what are some ideas you have to reach your campus? Well, I don't have any ideas how to reach my campus. Okay, well, let's sit down and let's talk about it. Let's dream. Let's try to have some vision about what we're going to do to reach the people on your campus, right? Because we want to do the same thing with people on their jobs, right, who aren't in school, because we're young adult and college ministry, right? So we want to build a culture that people say, okay, if I'm going to take ownership of my sphere of influence, right, which is what our staycation series is going to be about. What does that look like? How do I do that practically? And how can my community at the block help me do so? You know what I'm saying? So if you are the college student and you want to help, you want assistance reaching your sphere of influence, the people that God's put around you, well, we want to come alongside of you and help you in doing that.
Everybody's playing a role.
Yep.
Right? And I almost want to say, if you're not playing a role, you're holding back what God could potentially do through you in your sphere.
Yes.
Right? You don't come to church to sit on the bench.
You don't.
You come to church to be a participator,
right.
whether you're, whether you're good with assists or rebounds or baking or whatever it is, you come and you do that.
Yep.
And so the other thing too is that we have, since the hurricane, we've been displaced from where we used to meet, and we have a new gathering. We've been meeting in the Activity Center. And starting next week, we're going to go back to live streaming our young adult services.
It's going to be exciting.
On our YouTube
channel. Check us out on YouTube.
How awesome is that?
That's good. They can see my face. I'm going to bring my mama so they can see my mama. They keep
Your
hearing
mama
about
gonna
her.
be the only one commenting. She's like, yeah, baby.
Facts.
But we're going to start streaming our services again. Yeah. And so it's cool. So I think everything is being set up. There's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of great things happening. And I want people to know you. I want people to know your heart. I want people to know what's going on right now, and not to be confused about anything, but to be excited about it. Yeah. Right? And to know that this isn't let me just sit back and watch a handful of people be used. This is more of a no. This is let's all be used.
Yes.
Let's all be
because
used.
like you said earlier, everybody has a gift. You may not notice how your gift translates, but come talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Because God has given you a gift that the church, that is valuable to the kingdom. Right. And we want to help you doing that. They may not even look like necessarily doing something on Sunday nights. Yeah. Right. But that's not it. But what God is doing on the earth is so much bigger than what's happening in our building at Sunday night, Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we want to help you steward that gift, right? So that the kingdom can grow. Yeah,
own it. From making food after service, from being able to drive a vehicle.
That's actually a good one, because we had a girl in our ministry come up and she was like, hey, I cook, so like I want to make breakfast, and breakfast was fire.
Oh, it was so good.
Right, but the same night
I had 3 plates.
The same night, another girl was like, "Well, I also like bake." So she brought a cake, like probably almost the size of this table.
What she doesn't know that though is that not only did the block eat it, but our staff ate it.
Yes, they smashed it. Okay,
You know?
they killed it. You know, and so, but it's like no matter whatever whatever you do, like we've got some stuff going on in the backgrounds, like with some tech guys from our ministry. Like.
It's about to pop off.
It's really
it is.
Y'all don't even know yet.
It is.
Like
It
really
is.
cooking some stuff in the background that just ain't surfaced yet. But there's already reason to be excited. But I promise you, in the coming days, there's gonna be more reason to be excited because like God is really doing something special. Yeah, and it's very exciting.
I'm with you. I'm pumped. Love you. It's gonna be good. All right. So if you didn't go to class on Wednesday night, you need to go to class next Wednesday night. You need to be at the block on Sunday night for worship night.
You do need
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, worship night's gonna be fire.
Yeah, and then probably going out to eat after, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we always do that.
You always do that. And then capture the flag on Friday night at Lafayette Park.
Lafayette Park.
Anything else?
Settlement 2.
What?
Or Found the Church Van. That's where it's gonna be at.
Wait, what? No,
It's
it's not
part out.
Settlement 2.
What is it?
Shelter.
Shelter 2.
Why do you keep
Just look
saying
for the
that?
number 2. I've only been to the park once.
Wow. Okay.
Look for 2 and the church van, and
But they have to wear all black if they're gonna go.
Wear all
right?
black because it's glow in the dark, and we're gonna have some pretty cool stuff to make you glow.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's do it.
All right. Work on your jumper. Cut.
Why you do that? I have leadership lessons prepared.